It was a solemn New Year's Day in New Orleans as first responders and police dealt with a shocking act of terrorism after a truck driver plowed into a crowd, killing 14 people.
The attack occurred just a mile away from the Caesars Superdome, postponing the college football playoff quarterfinal between Georgia and Notre Dame today. And for all the latest, we welcome ESPN reporter and host of SEC Nation, Laura Rutledge. Thank you for being with us, Laura. There's still a big game ahead today, despite all of the horrific tragedy that we've experienced and seen over these last 48 hours. I'm curious, though, because you've covered Sugar Bowls in the past. What does security feel like there? How is the tone?
It definitely feels different. And even in being in this stadium yesterday for much of the day when really nobody else was in here, it felt very eerie. Today, I can tell you, feels a little bit more like a football game is going to be happening, but heavy hearts amongst everybody as we try to process this tragedy and, of course, think about all of the victims and their families that were affected by this attack. That sentiment has been given certainly by Georgia and Notre Dame, the two teams that are playing in this game. Security is significantly beefed up here, though, and it's basically a second layer of security, so far more than I've ever seen at another Sugar Bowl or even other college football games. There's a lot of police presence inside the stadium, outside the Superdome as well, and yesterday in the morning for a few hours they locked off the Superdome to do a full sweep of the stadium with police dogs checking for explosives. I've seen some of those police dogs in here already today as well.
And it's got to be tough for the players. I mean, yesterday was supposed to be a big day. What are both coaches doing to get their teams on the field in light of all of this happening?
Well, it's a great question. And as leaders of those teams, both Kirby Smart for Georgia and Marcus Freeman, who is the Notre Dame head coach, were grappling with that yesterday, trying to figure out how to keep their teams focused, but also help them process what was going on. And Marcus Freeman said that they met as a team and mourned the victims, mourned what was going on, spent some time talking through that. And then they did turn their attention to the film, as they said it was extra time to prepare for an opponent they have a ton of respect in with Georgia. Both teams were in shelter in place in their hotels, so they didn't leave for much of the day. Georgia did actually come over here to the Superdome to do a practice around 6 p.m. local for about an hour and 45 minutes, and they felt it was important to just get out of the hotel once it was deemed safe to do so. They felt that it was secure enough to do that, and they came over for a while. But it's complicated for these coaches as they want to maintain sensitivity, of course, but they also do have to prepare for a game, and then there's a quick turnaround. Whoever wins this game is just a week away from the Orange Bowl against Penn State.
Well, it is complicated because you're balancing the feelings of everybody there on the ground, people who've lost family members. That community has been rocked, along with the safety concerns. And there are some who are asking, why play now? Why not postpone a little bit further? What led to the decision?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's something that we were all curious to see, right, as we were gathering more information yesterday. But there was a meeting that happened between the FBI, between government officials here in New Orleans, as well as the college football playoff officials, Sugar Bowl officials. They all put their heads together to make this decision, and they said it was a decision that was not made lightly, even to postpone the game. They did want to do that. Of course, initially, we were told it was a postponement of exactly 24 hours. Then it ended up being a little bit less than that. I think at the request of the teams. We have sources that said both teams wanted to play as early as possible, and ultimately a lot of it was at the advising of the FBI, saying that they felt by this point things would be safe enough with the extra security, the extra presence of police, which we have seen with our own eyes here. They felt as though it would be safe enough to play this game for everybody involved. And as they've gathered more information that you guys have reported and had other reporters on your show today, you're learning a little bit more about why they might have felt it was safe. But I did have one law enforcement official tell me that the Superdome may be the safest place in New Orleans today.
Which is a sigh of relief for everybody watching and those covering. Thank you, Laura, for your coverage and your reporting. And we hope it's a joyful game for everybody there and an ability to just relax despite the unthinkable in that community.
Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you.